Good morning, and welcome to WNBA Updates. I'm Alina, bringing you all the latest action and stories from around the league. Today, we're focusing on one of the biggest talking points in women's basketball right now, the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark's absence, and the sudden rise of veteran guard Sophie Cunningham, who is putting together a blistering run of form just when the team needs her most. With Caitlin Clark currently sidelined due to injury, the Indiana Fever found themselves in a tight spot. The team's offensive engine, court leader, and top draw for fans across the country has been missing from the lineup. But while some expected the Fever to falter without their star rookie, something entirely different is happening. Sophie Cunningham, known more for her energy and hustle than for leading the scoring charts, has exploded into the spotlight, delivering one impactful performance after another. Cunningham, a sixth-year WNBA pro out of Missouri, was added to the Fever roster in the offseason. She was brought in for her toughness, her three-point shooting, and her locker room leadership. But with the sudden vacuum left by Clark's injury, Cunningham hasn't just filled a role, she's taken over games. Over her last 4 appearances, Cunningham has averaged just under 20 points per game while shooting lights out from the field. Her three-point shooting has been particularly impressive, connecting at over 42%, and she's also contributing with rebounds, defensive stops, and infectious intensity. What's more, she's showing the kind of leadership every team hopes for when one of its stars goes down. In Indiana's recent win over the Chicago Sky, Cunningham erupted for 22 points, hitting 5 triples and providing critical momentum during a second-half run. In the post-game interview, her emotion was clear. She credited her teammates and the coaching staff, but also made one thing clear. She's not here to just keep the seat warm until Clark returns. She's here to win. And win they have. Despite the tough loss of Clark, the Fever have gone on a small but significant winning streak, climbing in the standings and closing in on the 8th and final playoff spot. For a franchise that hasn't tasted the postseason since 2016, this moment matters. And for Cunningham, it's proving to be a defining stretch in her WNBA career. Cunningham's rise couldn't have come at a better time. Caitlin Clark, who has been the face of the franchise and one of the league's biggest draws, went down with a lower leg injury during a tense matchup against the Seattle Storm. Although scans revealed no serious long-term damage, the Fever medical team is taking a cautious approach, listing her as day-to-day. The injury immediately sparked concerns among fans and media. Clark had been leading all WNBA rookies in scoring and assists and had become a centerpiece in nearly every game plan for the Fever. Her court vision, deep shooting range, and leadership had already transformed the team's style of play. But while Clark's status remains uncertain, her presence hasn't vanished. She's been seen on the sidelines during games, coaching up her teammates, celebrating big plays, and staying involved every step of the way. And it's clear that she's fully behind the breakout performances of her teammate Sophie Cunningham. In a recent interview, Clark praised Cunningham, saying, "She's been incredible. She's brought so much energy and scoring when we've needed it most. Watching her step up like this has been really inspiring." Cunningham, for her part, has been nothing but focused. She's been aggressive on both ends of the floor, creating offense for herself and others, and helping to lead the charge in transition. Her chemistry with fellow guard Kelsey Mitchell and forward Nalissa Smith has taken a visible leap, with the trio forming a potent defensive core in Clark's absence. What's most exciting about Cunningham's surge is how it's igniting the rest of the team. Players like Aaliyah Boston, Erica Wheeler, and Temi Fagbenell have all stepped up their games as well. The result? A Fever team that looks more cohesive, more aggressive, and more confident than it has in years. Head coach Christy Sides acknowledged Cunningham's importance during a recent press conference. "Sophie's been huge for us. She brings leadership, toughness, and she's never afraid of the moment. With Caitlin out, someone had to step up, and Sophie has more than answered that call." And it's not just Indiana that's taking notice. Around the league, analysts and former players have praised Cunningham's run. On ESPN, Rebecca Lobo said, "Sophie Cunningham is playing the best basketball of her career. She's fearless, she's efficient, and she's keeping the Fever's playoff hopes alive." Even fans have rallied around her performances. On social media, hashtags like hashtag Cunningham catches fire and hashtag scorching Sophie have trended following her big nights. Her jersey sales have seen a noticeable uptick, and fans are beginning to see her not just as a role player, but as a star in her own right. With roughly a month left in the regular season, the Fever's playoff push is officially on. They sit just outside the 8th seed, but are within striking distance. Their upcoming games will be critical, including tough road tests against the New York Liberty and Dallas Wings, and a return home to face the playoff-contending Washington Mystics. Every win counts. Every possession matters. And while the Fever hope to get Caitlin Clark back on the court soon, there's now a growing confidence that even without her, they can still win games and potentially clinch a postseason berth. Cunningham's mindset remains laser-sharp. "This team has heart," she said after her last game. "We've been through some tough stretches, but we're finding our rhythm. And with Caitlin cheering us on, we're not slowing down." The WNBA is a league where stars shine, but it's also a league that thrives on stories like this, where veterans seize opportunities, where underdogs rise, and where teams rally around one another in the face of adversity. Sophie Cunningham's story this season isn't just about numbers. It's about grit, leadership, and stepping up when the team needs you most. Whether or not Caitlin Clark returns in the next week or two, the Fever now have another weapon, another leader, and another reason to believe that this season might still hold something special. From a team that started the year with high expectations placed squarely on a rookie's shoulders, the Fever are now proving they're more than just one player. They're a unit. And right now, that unit is being led by a scorching hot Sophie Cunningham. As we continue to track Clark's injury status, and as Indiana makes its late-season push, one thing is certain: the Fever are far from finished. And with Cunningham playing the way she is, the rest of the league better watch out. That's it for this edition of WNBA Updates. I'm Alina. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time with more stories, scores, and standout performances from around the league. Stay locked in and keep supporting women's basketball.